We're here with Mayor Deemy and Dave, who's the grant writer for Johnson City. And so we're here to ask them a few questions. We just reviewed the updates to Story Map for the Johnson City revitalization. And while our purpose at the university is to monitor what things are happening over time, we also want to try to serve or help in any way we can in Johnson City. So having recently looked at this, can you identify things that you think might be helpful to you?
Absolutely. Looking through that, the opportunity for a lot of, PR basically in regards to people being able to go on there and find, opportunities for them to possibly purchase a building or, bring a family here type of, situation. So it gives them a feel for the area, a real sense of what Johnson City is and where we're going in the future.
I think it's building a really important relationship and partnership between the community and the college, where we really have a great opportunity here to take some of the innovative new ideas that students are developing and bring them into actual reality in our village, so that we can both bring them in as potential new residents and improve the quality of life for our existing residents as we work on this development. It's been super exciting this whole time.
What do you anticipate? I know the first pharmacy class, SUNY class, just opened this past fall. I don't know if you've seen any students on Main Street or down here, or what you anticipate as this moves forward. What is your thinking about the students?
Actually, I think the second class is here now. They moved into the school. The first class actually was on campus, and they just opened the school this July. They moved in. Some of the businesses have seen an uptick in people visiting them. So we're hoping that it's going to grow the area, that they will see an increase in foot traffic here on Main Street as the school progresses and builds, and they learn the area and start feeling comfortable going around and looking around and seeing what we have to offer. So our goal is my goal actually is at some point to sit down. I've already gone over with Dean Meredith and talked to her in the school, but to actually sit down with the students and the dean and say, okay, you've been here for a while now. What do you see? Are there needs we're not addressing? Are there things that you see that we could do better? So my goal is to really integrate ourselves with them, as Dave was saying, with the school, because they are a big part of our community at this point.
And even with the first initial class at the new school, I have noticed an increase in some younger faces and some increased number of bodies just moving up and down Main Street and along some of the main thoroughfares, such as Willow Street, even a little bit more traffic on Corliss and on Main. I see new faces waiting at the bus stops up and down Main Street and walking up and down the side streets. So I think we are already seeing an increase in student presence. Although we actually do have a fair number of students who are not going into the pharmaceutical school, but who are on main campus pursuing other degrees, who do live down in this section of town. So every fall, really, we do see quite an uptick in the number of traffic, or the number of cars on the road and the number of people walking. But I think it has been a little more this fall than last fall.
Good. Excuse me. There are obvious opportunities. We talked about some of these. And I'd like you to repeat what you think some of the opportunities are for people who are looking for a business or help with improving with small grants their facades. What are the opportunities you see?
So there are already existent a great deal of opportunities for small business development, for first-time home buyers, that exist within our programs that are already existent and active within the town of Union, in Village of Johnson City, and what we've found is they're not being utilized. So a great deal of federal funding has been allocated to this area to help fill these places and spaces, to improve these areas, and it's not being utilized. So we're kind of reaching out there a little bit and trying a new concept where we're putting an outreach location down on Main Street in a commercial storefront to be easily accessible to any member of the community who wants to come in and talk to us about how they can stay in their home, how they can get a small business loan, how they can get a home rehab loan, what grants are available. And really there's a huge amount of underutilized funding right now that is already available. And people, there's just a gap between information and the people who need to get that information. So we have a sustainable redevelopment team of interns and a part-time clerk at the village who focus exclusively on these projects and these programs, and who are going to be stationed in the outreach location to talk to the community. Hopefully we'll be bouncing well off the story map, and people will be looking at that saying, I want to live in the neighborhood that has that nice park or that great little garden. That's what I want to be located near. That bus line gets me to school really quickly. And this is going to be kind of a main stopping point for people to get information about everything they can access through the village to help people live and stay here as comfortably as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, the opportunities are already there. We've got the new apartment complex that opened over by the pharmacy school, Century Sunrise project. We've got, the Victory Building project that's going to be starting about an $80 million project, supposed to be market rate senior housing. So things are starting to happen. There's a lot of projects on Main Street now that people don't see because it's a lot of interior things that are going on. So there are a lot of things that within the next couple of years you'll see a big change, and that's what's hard to project to people, that these things are happening, that they're going to be happening. And as Dave said, with this Grow JC office, this is a fantastic opportunity for those who are wondering what to do, where do I go, what can I see, what are the opportunities. So we just hope they'll take the chance to come here and at least talk, and we can guide them where we need to. So, but the opportunities are there already.
That's it. And we've been really working hard. Mayor and the board have been really working hard on making some policy changes that really make the area accessible for new businesses coming in, that really make it pleasant and increase our quality of life and our walkability. We've fully adopted a complete streets policy, and we've been working on implementation over the past 2 years to increase our multimodal transit opportunities for everyone. We're working on putting in some public Wi-Fi hotspots, both to enhance the transit that comes through the area and to offer an opportunity to step into an economic realm that might not be available for some of our existing lower income residents. We've been working on paving the way to allow for community gardens to exist, for public art to be installed throughout the village. And these things are done behind the scenes. There's no actual paintbrush out there when you're making the policy to say it's okay to have public art. That's Mayor and the board and our corporate council working hard to make it possible for those things to happen in our community.
That's another good point there is, we understand the school is important, the university is important to the village, but that's just an opportunity for us to grow our own community, that we still have to do our part. And I'll have to give kudos to Dave. She's worked very hard with the interns and what projects are, what we've done to get where we are, because a lot of it's been her working hard behind the scenes with the board, but she's just worked very hard to get us to where we are. But we know, we've got to do our part to make it a comfortable area for people to come to give them the opportunity. We can't just sit back and say, oh great, they're here now. That's not how it works. We still have to do our part and work hard to give all opportunities, possible opportunities, and make it really a great future for the village.
All good things come with challenges, and I think implicitly, if not explicitly here, communication is getting the message out. We're hoping Story Maps will in part do that, and I wanted to let you know that after the first of the year, we will be doing a mass mailing to Johnson City to talk about some of these changes and that they can get it on a Story Map.